So THQ decided to kick off their 10th anniversary by showcasing a variety of games, but I believe one that caught all of us off guard was SpongeBob SquarePants The Cosmic Shake. When I first watched this trailer, my jaw dropped because they hit you with that Sweet Victory, one of the most iconic songs in all of SpongeBob. And the trailer uses this song to its fullest, showcasing SpongeBob jumping from world to world, dimension to dimension. Honestly, this trailer just gives off strong Crash 4 It's About Time vibes, or really, that new Ratchet and Clank game on the PS5, how these characters are just jumping from world to world. It's honestly really exciting to have a new SpongeBob game show this much ambition within a small 1-minute trailer. So while we're here, let's break down this trailer and get every reference that was shown because there are quite a few of them. And if you're a true SpongeBob fan like me, then you're bound to spot almost all of them. Starting off, we see SpongeBob in his band uniform singing Sweet Victory throughout the entirety of the video. However, right as SpongeBob is singing, a cosmic portal right behind him sucks him in and transitions him to the next world. In this transition, we see a flurry of instruments, and one of them being Mayo, because as we all know, Mayo is an instrument. At this point in the video, I want to talk about how Patrick is this weird small version of himself. It looks like he's going to be a companion to SpongeBob throughout the entire game, and he might allow you to have certain abilities through his newfound form. It's odd to say the least, but I'm really interested to see why Patrick is like this now. Moving on, SpongeBob surfs on a bubble board and lands into a weird festation of monsters. These creatures honestly remind me of Nicktoons Globs of Doom. To those who haven't played the Nicktoon games, they're basically just a series of Nickelodeon characters interacting with each other to defeat a common enemy. And in the final entry, Globs of Doom, a lot of the enemies were these orange globs. And it's an odd coincidence to see all these weird monsters be similar to those globs. Of course, they all kind of look unique in their own specific ways, but it's an interesting comparison to say the least. I know I, for one, would welcome a new Nicktoons game with open arms. Slamming down from the portal, SpongeBob blows away all the monsters and makes eye contact with Sandy, who appears to be ready to fight SpongeBob. Does this mean she's one of the possible bosses we might fight in the game, or is this a misunderstanding that can be resolved through gameplay? Perhaps Sandy is a playable character in this game. A funny thing to note is that usually when Sandy is ready to fight, she wears purple gear. However, here she's wearing her gi from Karate Island, which in itself is a clear reference to Kill Bill. Before the two can clash heads, we see Squidward in a director's outfit, kind of looking like Steven Spielberg, if I may say so myself. It seems like this entire world that we end up exploring will be a Hollywood movie set, so perhaps the monsters we end up fighting aren't actually monsters, but people in costumes. However, I'm a bit doubtful on that theory because at the end of the trailer we see these same monsters on the left hand side of the video. Moving back in time, we see Primitive Sponge burst out the portal being bombarded with plumes of lava. And you heard me right, this is Primitive Sponge, not SpongeGar. But what difference does that make, right? Just kidding, they are completely different characters. Don't you ever say Primitive Sponge is SpongeGar ever again. Rolling off screen, SpongeBob is shot into a new world and a new form as he comes out as a snail. This is a clear reference to the episode I Was a Teenage Gary, but does that mean we're going to have an entire level dedicated to this snail form of SpongeBob? I mean, it'd be a weird choice, but honestly, I'm completely game for it. Also, let's not forget to mention the Flying Dutchman and his special sock. I mean, the dude's really getting in there, really sniffing it up. I never understood his obsession with his lucky sock, but it's been a running joke in the series originating from Shanghai, in which SpongeBob and crew get trapped by the Flying Dutchman, and Squidward goes through immense amounts of torture. Moving on, we now see SpongeBob in the Wild West wearing a cowboy outfit riding Mystery, who first made her debut in My Pretty Seahorse. And honestly, I am so excited to see Mystery in a SpongeBob game again. The last time I remember Mystery being in a SpongeBob game was in that Battle for Bikini Bottom GBA port. Any of you guys remember that? Honestly, it was such a good time. In general, this game is shaking up to be a successor to Battle for Bikini Bottom, which is a delight to say the least. SpongeBob and Mystery leap over Mrs. Puff, scaring the hell out of her, and In a moment of pure beauty, SpongeBob showcases his gorgeous hair, which honestly almost made me tear up at the sight of such perfection. Give me a moment. Psych, my emotions are fake. But what isn't fake is the utter brilliance of the trailer's climax. I mean, hot damn, Mrs. Puff is shredding it. She honestly goes ham on this guitar solo, bumping into SpongeBob, just shredding it like her life depended on it. It's honestly respectable. In the sequence, we also see Mr. Krabs, who we haven't seen this point into the trailer. We did see Plankton at the beginning of the trailer, starting off with that piano bit, but we hadn't seen Mr. Krabs yet, so I wonder where exactly he'll fit in the game. Another detail I'd like to point out is how at the end of the splash screen we see Sandy riding a bubble board right next to a light fixture. This makes me think, is this entire game just some type of movie that they're shooting? This did happen in Lights Camera Pants, which is honestly one of the most underrated SpongeBob games. But what I think is more likely is that there is a tear in the entire universe in which SpongeBob has to save by collecting certain collectibles as a means to protect said cosmos from an eldritch deity. And I mean, this would explain all these strange monsters popping up in the background. Spongebob Squarepants The Cosmic Shake is shaking up to be one of my most anticipated games of the entire year. And I mean that wholly unironically. I have been waiting for a comeback in licensed games for a long time, and it seems like Purple Lamp Studios is coming back from Rehydrated to develop this game. And honestly, if Purple Lamp Studios, in addition to Game Mills with their Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, are responsible for the Renaissance era of licensed games, all I have to say is thank you. Now, a few last things before we wrap up. On the Steam page for the game, there's a few descriptions for what the story might be like. Reading it tells me that SpongeBob and Patrick run across a fortune teller named Cassandra, who gives them a vial of magical mermaid tears that allows them to make any wishes they want at any quantity. So SpongeBob and Patrick, being SpongeBob and Patrick, make so many wishes that they break the fabric of space and time. This causes them to go through 7 wish worlds, some of which we see in SpongeBob's iconic "Who Put You on This Planet" dance. The 7 worlds being the Squidward's Hollywood one, the Wild West Jellyfish Field, a Halloween Rock Bottom, a medieval inspired world, and a pirate themed one, as well as a prehistoric Bikini Bottom with prehistoric sponge. However, the 7th world still seems to be a mystery to me. Apparently there's going to be over 30 costumes in the entire game, and this leads me to believe that almost each costume, at least some of them, will have specific and unique attributes. Another positive thing to note is that this game will actually have the original voice actors voice the game, unlike Battle for Bikini Bottom, which ended up living without some of the voice actors. One of those voice actors, of course, being for Patrick, who seems to be confirmed as a permanent companion character to SpongeBob throughout the entire game. Not only that, but Cosmic Shake seems to feature over 100 songs from the series. And honestly, that is such a hefty soundtrack for this game. It only makes me more excited to see what songs they ended up choosing and how the original compositions will end up sounding. I am incredibly excited for what the future holds, and SpongeBob SquarePants The Cosmic Shake may not have a release date, but I'll try to keep anyone updated on it. Probably not though. I don't know. Like and subscribe? And that just about does it for my breakdown. So please, tell me what you thought of the video, and more importantly, tell me what you think about SpongeBob The Cosmic Shake. Give the video a like if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel if you want more content like this. And as always, don't forget to keep on keeping on. See you later.